Right there to all of you viewers of Equinoxe Television, thank you so much for joining us tonight in this edition of the news in the English language. I'm Majestarys right away. Friends, sympathizers and family members of late Justice Ayah continue to mourn his demise. The Advocate General of the Supreme Court died in Boya that was on the eve of Christmas. Justice Ayah was a strong critic of the Biya government, which was one of the reasons he was imprisoned and his account frozen until his death. The senior advocate was also for federalism as a possible solution to the Anglophone crisis. We come back to the values he stood for in this edition of the news. And a 15-year-old girl dies in a day in the Senegal Maritime Division of the Littoral region by electrocution as she tried to press her dress, the dress she was to put on the day of her baptism, which was to take place yesterday, Christmas Day. Viewers, those are our major stories. Let's come back for details and more. Welcome back, viewers. Thank you so much for the confidence. 6 persons suspected to have burgled the Christ the King Catholic Church in Susa have been apprehended and shown to the public by elements of the judicial police in Douala during a replay of how the operation took place at the Christ the King Catholic Church. The parish priest, Reverend Father Mark Desiree, appreciated the work done by the security forces and says he is at peace now. Smart Njikan Gabriel has the details.
There were 6 in number who broke into the Christ the King's Catholic Church of Susa recently. After a thorough investigation by the elements of the Judicial Police Station in Douala, they were arrested and taken back to the scene of the incident, where they showed security forces how they managed to break into the church compound, then got into the room of the priest, where they took away valuable items alongside electronics.
3 individuals with 2 firearms and other equipment, who took a laptop computer, several other belongings and some money.
The incident caused a lot of fear to the parish priest of Christ the King's Catholic Church, Susa. It was a frightful day for me when I was attacked, but I want to say that the work done by the security forces was exceptional, and this has given me a lot of comfort and peace of heart. It was thanks to the professional work done by the elements of the judicial police under the instructions from the regional delegate of national security that the suspects were picked up.
The prompt intervention of the Susa Public Security Station Chief, who had been alerted, led to the arrest of Mr. Chogwe Victorien, the driver of the motorbike that had carried the 3 fugitives. Transferred to the next day to our division, the investigation by our collaborators from the anti-crime brigade led us to the arrest of other 3 suspects.
The 6 suspects presented had with them 1 locally made pistol and an automatic pistol alongside cartridges, as well as pincers, which they used for their different operations. I am appreciating the work done by the forces of law and order. At the same time, I'm asking my people to collaborate with the law enforcement officers during this festive period. The suspects have been handed over to the justice system for the law to take its course.
Now on to one of our big stories. Justice Ayah has been described as a man of convictions, deeply attached to democracy and human rights, which he believed to the end, as he took in his last breath, in a myriad of tributes in honor to the fallen magistrate, lawyer, father, and political figure. Justice Ayah is projected as a veritable model of integrity, selflessness, and honor. While some members of the political class see him as an hero country, others remember him as the lone voice that stood against an infamous constitution in 2018. For me, I'm Tronsanda with the details.
In his tributes to the fallen magistrate, Maurice Kamto of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement CRM party says Ayah is a direct victim of the useless civil war that has been ravaging the English-speaking regions of Cameroon for the past 8 years. The CRM leader says Ayah Bine was subjected to all kinds of physical and moral torture after his arbitrary arrest for expressing his opinion on issues affecting the life of his nation, Cameroon. He further says Ayah Bine has been deprived of financial resources, starting with those to which he was entitled, necessary for his proper medical care by the authorities whom he had served loyally. In court, his fellow magistrates, often of lower ranks, were cruel to him. In the political and social arena, the English-speaking elite mocked him. In both cases, cynicism and cowardice, which ruined the humanity of Cameroonians, got the better of him, Maurice Kamto stated in a long sentence. For himself and on behalf of his CRM party, Professor Maurice Kamto extends deep condolences to the family of Barrister Ayah Bine. Like the CRM party, the Social Democratic Front SDF party says the unwavering commitment of Justice Ayah Bine to democracy and justice has left an indelible mark hurt and the nation Cameroon. As we remember his tireless effort for a better Cameroon, we find solace in knowing that his legacy will continue to inspire us, the SDF stated. To his wife and children, the Social Democratic Front extends heartfelt condolences. To NJANG Denis, national president of Ayah Bine's Popular Action Party, words are few. NJANG Denis simply says an Iroko tree has fallen, a citadel of wisdom is no more. A youth political leader and coordinator of the Now Future movement, Fabrice Lena says he learned a lot of values, qualities, and lessons from Ayah Bine.
Good night, Justice Ayah Bine. Your legacy lives on. In politics, while militants of the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, the CPDM, continue calling for President Paul Biya's candidacy in the upcoming presidential election, calls for his retirement are also rising. Many more Cameroonians are asking and hoping for a change at the helm of the state. One of them is the Archbishop of the Douala Archdiocese, His Grace Samuel Kleda. Babila Jonathan has more.
Another voice, another call on President Paul Biya to step aside. Others, like Honorable Jean-Michel Ninto, had told the head of state to resign. And now, the Archbishop of Douala, His Grace Samuel Kleda, contradicts calls for his candidacy in the 2025 presidential election.
Il y a justement, Monseigneur Kleda, des hiérarques du parti de Paul Biya, le RDPC, qui l'appellent depuis des mois à se représenter pour cette élection présidentielle prévue en octobre 2025. Qu'est-ce que vous dites à ce propos?
Responding to a question on Radio France International, he said,
je dirais tout simplement que cela n'est pas réaliste.
President Biya's candidacy is unrealistic.
Ce que je veux pour mon pays, une transition pacifique.
He wants a peaceful transition in which the will of the people and democratic principles are respected and the winner allowed to govern the country.
C'est celui-là qui doit gouverner.
Now let's move on to the Adamawa region, where the 15th session of the Adamawa Regional Council took place. That was on December 23 and 24 in Gaundiri. During the session, a budget of 5.8 billion francs CFA was voted and adopted for the year 2025. The governor of the region urged the regional councillors to address key challenges such as inadequate education and health, poor road infrastructure, and the issue of bushfires that contribute to environmental destruction in Gaundiri. Lucy Liengu is here reports.
The Adamawa region is struggling with the problem of dilapidated roads, which has significantly hampered access between towns such as Tigner, Tibati, Gaundal, and Banyo, rendering circulation extremely challenging for road users. Added to this is inadequate education, healthcare services, and environmental destruction caused by bushfires. This poses an issue for the local population.
Education. health. Our priority in Adamawa is education.
In response to these urgent concerns, the 15th session of the Adamawa Regional Council was held on December 23rd and 24th, 2024 in Gaundere, where a budget of 5.8 billion francs CFA was approved for the year 2025.
We have observed that social domain has the priority, and some aspect of investments also have been taken in account. We already invest more than 4 billion francs CFA in only education. In only 2025.
Dr. Muhammadu Dewa, the president of the Adamawa Regional Council, announced that 74% of the budget will be allocated for investment, while 26% will be designated for operational costs.
The budgets have been adopted, and now we want to exhort all the stakeholders respect and to manage properly the budget.
Governor Kidadi Tagute Buka urged the regional councillors to prioritize the social needs of the population in their planning and initiatives.
And before we go out of Cameroon, we sincerely apologize. We won't be having the story of the 15-year-old girl who died in Ayah from electrocution on her baptism day. Sure, we will be bringing to you the images in subsequent news editions. Now, out of our national frontiers, more than 1,500 prisoners have escaped from a prison in Mozambique that was on Christmas Day. They took advantage of the ongoing political unrest triggered by disputed election results in that country. Our foreign page roundup with Cedric Chakutu.
Mozambican government confirmed a massive prison break on December 25th involving over 1,500 inmates escaping from the high-security Mashava prison near the capital Maputo. The escape concerned amidst ongoing post-electoral violence following the Constitutional Council's confirmation of Daniel Chopo's election victory with 65% of the vote. Police Chief Bernardo Rafael reported that 1,534 prisoners fled, with only 150 captured so far. The escape led to violent clashes between the fugitives, prison staff and police, resulting in 33 deaths and 15 injuries. Videos showed crowds rushing out of the prison, some carrying weapons taken from guards. Mashava prison holds high-risk inmates, including jihadists linked to armed groups in Cabo Delgado. At least 30 jihadists are among the escapees, including one classified as highly dangerous, raising security concerns. Elsewhere in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kinshasa's Archbishop delivers a politically loaded Christmas message. The Archbishop of Kinshasa's Christmas message is likely to cause further tension between the Catholic Church and the state in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Preaching during Christmas Eve Mass, Cardinal Fridolin Ambongo accused the authorities of failing to bring out peace and to end the misery of the population. Ambongo said that the country was living through hellish conditions, citing war in the east and widespread poverty. It should be noted that it's not the first time Ambongo is issuing a stinging criticism of President Felix Tshisekedi's government.
And that was what we put together for you on the first part of the news. Let's now move on to Talking Point. Welcome back, viewers. We are paying homage to the late Honorable Justice Ayah Abini, and our guest tonight is NJANG Denis. He is the president of the Popular Action Party, which Ayah Abini founded some years back. Thank you, NJANG Denis, for accepting to be our guest on Talking Point tonight. Besides being the president of the Popular Action Party, which Ayah is the founding father, Justice Ayah is the founding father, you are also, or you were, a very close aide to him while he was alive. Thank you again for accepting to be our guest tonight. Now, how did the party, the Popular Action Party, and especially you as the president of the party, receive the sad news of his demise that was on the eve of Christmas?
Well, good evening to all viewers of Equinoxe. Good evening to all Cameroonians. Good evening more especially to the members of the Popular Action Party, the PAP. And once more, good evening to all those who feel that this juncture like this, PAP is in a very big, the PAP is aggrieved following the recent information of the unfortunate situation that has befall the party during these trying moments. So good evening to everyone. Well, it has been a very devastating moment for us, members of the party, especially me, the chairman. He was my mentor, my father, my guide, my everything when it has to do with orientation in terms of political issues. I happen to be one of the few close collaborators of Justice Ayah during his trying moments from the period when he was illegally abducted by the PR regime, placed under detention for 8 months without any charges, released, and his salary was withheld. Even before his detention, his salary was withheld, and after his release, his salary was still withheld, and his account was frozen, together with his pension that was also blocked. So I really witnessed a very devastating moment of a man of such caliber, a man that has served the nation with all his integrity, with all what it has to make Cameroon a great nation. It's very unfortunate that at his dying days, he himself manifested it on many occasions of what the regime did to him.
Now, Denis, you were a very close person to the late Justice Ayah Bini. You worked with him for a very long time, and you've been heading the party with his guidance for so many years now. Can you tell us what are some of the memories you have of the late Justice Ayah Bini while working with him for so many years?
We had one of the opportunity where we had a lot that we did together. By then, I was then organizing secretary. I started being so close to Justice Ayah from 2014, where I managed or happened to be integrated at the National Bureau, and I accompanied him in many of his outings, especially political outings, and I saw a man of integrity, a man that has self-dignity, a man that stood for his words, a man that hated injustice, a man that fought for the common man, a man that believes in democracy, a man that had all what it took. In fact, a man that you will not even imagine that as of his age, he gave a lot of possibilities for the youth, openings for the youth to excel. A man that never wanted just his name, but he did everything to uplift others. So I experienced that. I think if I want to start elaborating of the many experiences and memories of Justice I don't think we'll have enough time. But all what I saw is a man that stood for his grounds. He stood for what he believes in. And I think those are the values that I would have emulated to believe in myself and believe that when you stand for the truth, no matter how long it takes, the truth will one day set you free.
Now, Denis, Justice Ayah was the backbone, so to speak, of the Popular Action Party, which you are the president. Now he is no more. Don't you think his demise can have a heavy toll on the party activities?
He was someone that who already saw and believed in posterity. He is not that type of. He was not that type of a leader who believed that he will want to hang on something until he dies on it. He was a man that who believed that the greatness of every leader is those whom you have trained and you've handed over the baton of command to, and not wait until you are dead. So he already gave us that training throughout the short moments that I was with him. He gave us that training. I learned a lot, the path to follow. Even when he was still alive, he resigned in 2019, and I was elected as a national president in 2019. That is, he resigned in January, and in June, I was elected in a national council convention held here in Yaoundé. So that mentorship, I was always going and gaining a lot. I was always getting close to him when issues of serious magnitude arises concerning state issues or the party. He was always there. He was always very open. I was always very close, getting close to him to get his own opinion. In fact, he gave us a lot of encouragement throughout that 2019, right to his present demise. I was always keeping in contact and in touch, especially on issues that needed his attention. I think it is a great example for some of our leaders who are both even political leaders presently, that they could learn from Justice Ayah, that you don't wait till when you have gone before people, you leave people behind and they start hitting their heads. You prepare the terrain, and then while you are alive, you monitor. I think Justice Ayah lived by his words. He did not only speak or spoke, but he lived by action.
Thank you so much, NJANG, Denis, TABE, for accepting to be our guest and talking point tonight. Our sincere condolences to the party members of the Popular Action Party and also to his family. Viewers, thank you so much for always being with us. That was what we put together for you this evening on the news. Our programs continue. Equinoxe will be live from Douala. That would be with Serge Alongo, and the news in the French language comes up at 8 p.m. Stay with us on Equinoxe Television and see you again tomorrow. Same time, God willing. Bye-bye for now.